Welcome back to another One Chart lesson. Breakfast at Sweethearts is one of my favourite Cold Chisel songs. Ian Moss, the guitarist, is one of my favourite guitar players. So I'm very happy to be doing this lesson. It's just such a great song. It's got a reggae feel to it, but it's very bluesy. It's in the key of A minor, and most of our chords, or in fact I think all of our chords, are going to be bar chords. Although you can do these with open chord shapes, it's going to sound much more authentic if you can cut those notes or the strums short like a reggae feel, like that. So download your chart, let's get started. I've tabbed out the intro as the organ plays it, as you probably just heard at the start there, as well as the little intro guitar solo at the start, the one in the middle, and the tasty little lick that he does at the end. It's all there on your tab. It's actually a 3-page tab, but the middle page is actually just your chords. So download your chart, let's get started. We start with A minor, and I'll take you through the way I've played this organ solo, which is basically this. You rake through the top 4 strings of an A minor bar chord, like that. Once you hit that note on the E string 5th fret, cut it short, then go up to the 8th fret, and then go back down to 7, hammer on to 8, and come back to 7. So, and there on that note is where I started with my first chord. Now, playing a chord like this with the open A string, those 3 strings, and this note on the 7th fret of the E string makes this an A minor 9. Not technically the way they play it, but to get that note and to follow through on the chord, if you're on your own, an A minor 9 works there. Then that's the next organ line. So we slide up to 10th fret on the E string, back down to 7, 8 on the B string, and then pull off from 9 down to 7 and back to 9. So, and when you land on that is where the E minor chord sits underneath it. So the next little organ bit is a nice little run, but if you play it down here, starting on your open B string, you end up with an open E string, which lets you land back on your open A minor chord. So that's about the only time I think we're going to use open chords in this song. But then after that, the next organ bit is 5, 0, 7, 5, and then we go to an E minor 7 because the next note is that G string 7th fret. So you can play any other notes in the E minor chord there, as long as you hit that 7th note, which is on the G string 7th fret. As long as you hit that note, then you carry on that. And then straight after that note, the 8th fret B string, and then again you do that 7, 9, 7 little hammer, pull off and hammer on. So I'll play that once through really slowly so you can follow it through. If you don't want to do this organ solo, don't do it. It's just a little optional thing that I thought I'd throw in there because it's kind of cute. And the strumming that Ian Moss does throughout most of this song is 1, then 2. So if I do things differently at any stage throughout this lesson, it doesn't mean anything. That's the basic strum that he follows through. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that throughout the whole thing, except for the bridge section, which we'll get to in a minute. But let's do that again. I'm talking too much. Let's do the solo again. There I go, doing 2 strums there. move into the next section, which are these chords, these beautiful chords: C major, D minor 7. And again, you can play these as open chords, but they sound much nicer as bar chords. D minor 7, up to F, then G, and a G sharp diminished, which basically means that from this G chord here, which is 10, 12, 12, 12, we're not worrying about either of the E strings on the top or bottom. From there, you bring your root note up a fret to the G sharp, and the note on the G string comes up one fret as well. So you've got 11, 12, 13, and that's your G sharp diminished chord. So it sounds like this. Then we come into the guitar part, the guitar intro solo. Ending on the A minor. That's where the verse starts. Can lane through the window, curtain rain, long nights gone, yellow days. As you're doing this, as I'm playing this on my own, I'm feeling like just doing that strumming is probably going to sound pretty empty if you're on your own. I would lead with the bass note on my thumb and do one strum down. So 1, 2, 3, sorry, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And if you wanted to add more strums like that, but the key I think to getting this rolling is leading with that bass note with your thumb. And then you put as many, like I said, Ian Moss plays one downstroke first and then 2 downstrokes on the second part. So 1, 2. That's your verse. You're going from A minor to E minor 7, and you can play E minor there or E minor 7, either works. Then when it goes to the change, you're going 6 o'clock, I'm going down. Coffee's hot and the toast is brown. Hair street sweeper, clear my way. The sweethearts breakfast, the best in town. Through that G sharp diminished leads you into the chorus, which is oh, a breakfast at Sweethearts. A minor, E minor 7, D minor 7. Oh, a breakfast at Sweethearts. At the end of that first chorus, there's a really cool little change here. The bass goes B flat, E7. So if you're on your own, you can play a B flat major chord and an E7 chord, because the bass is just going B flat, E. And then into the next verse. Exactly the same way. But that verse is, I think, doubled. Dreams fly away as she pours another cappuccino. Onto the bridge. 6 o'clock, I'm going down. The coffee's hot and the toast is brown. Hair street sweeper, clear my way. The sweetheart's breakfast, the best in town. Oh, breakfast at Sweethearts. Oh, breakfast at Sweethearts. Next is the actual guitar solo, which goes over the bridge chords. bridge. Now this is a double bridge, so we don't play the G sharp diminished chord until the very last time through. So going down, the coffee's hot and the toast is brown. Hey, street sweeper, clear my way. The Sweethearts breakfast, the best in town. At 6 o'clock, I'm going down. The coffee's hot and the toast is brown. Hey, street sweeper, clear my way. The Sweethearts breakfast, the best in town. Now this little solo bit at the end, which I've called the chorus coda, it's really just the start of a chorus and ending out with these last few chords, but it goes. Then it starts slowing down, and we go through the B flat and E7, ending on the A minor. So again, those chords. So I'll play the guitar part over the top because it's a really nice, tasty little guitar ending to this. It's Sweethearts breakfast, the best in town. And that's the song. Thank you for watching. There's a lot in there. There's some really, really nice, tasteful playing there by Ian Moss, but it's a fantastic song written by an amazing band of musicians. Don Walker is a songwriting genius, and so is Ian Moss. The whole band, fantastic. Thank you for watching. We'll see you here again next time.